Well, the Catalunya region welcomes us along for the penultimate round of Season 8 of the Tanso Racing Group in Clark St. James GT3 season number 8. It has been an adventure so far, but more to the point, we have this and one more round to go to decide who will be our Season 8 Pro and Am champions. Hello, everybody. It's Alex Goldschmidt in the booth. This evening, once again, joined by my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only, the incomparable James Parfitt will be alongside me in the booth tonight. But more to the point, this 4.68 kilometre circuit has been around since 1991. This particular track has been in use since 2021, as in this variation where we don't have the wiggly wobbly chicane going through the top right hand part of the circuit at Europe Car. And it is going to be a flat out fast adventure. Of course, the recent background for the season finale for this year's GT World Challenge powered by AWS Europe. But more to the point, let's get you through with the scores on the doors, shall we? 2 rounds to go. And let's have a look at the pro standings first of all. Sam Berry leads by 3 points ahead of Harry Hartley-Price. 157 plays 154. Andy White, who had a very good showing last time out at Mexico, rounds out the top 3 with Hayden Young, Craig Corish, George Reyes and Peter Duke rounding out your top 7 drivers. Good to see Peter back after a couple of weeks away. Then we go to the AMs. Well, Scotty Kostrick currently on his hollybobs at the moment, so there could be a very discerning change in the top of the AM standings. And more to the point, that Harry Seven, who lost the lead to Scotty Kostrick last time out after a mare at Mexico last week, still has an opportunity to regain the lead in the championship. Current defending AM champion James Moore is on 135, Joel Loudon 134, Mark Wesley rounds out the top 5 on 131 points. Keep your eyes on the likes of Sindre Johansson and Quinton Klumpert, the 2 in the Mustangs. They have been getting better and better over the course of the season. We're into the final 2.5 minutes of qualifying, and more to the point, let's welcome in Mr. Parfitt. Good evening, JP. How are we doing?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all. Looking forward to this. How are you? How has everything been? I am glad that they have not got the janky chicane at the end. It does my absolute boxing. I don't like it. I'm interested to see. Now, this is one of the things with the Spanish makeup of circuits. You either get amazing racing or you just get meh racing. And I'm hoping we get amazing racing. We've got 60 minutes, so we should be all right. But I do find Catalunya one of them Marmite circuits where it's either really great or it just completely meh goes wrong. So we'll find out what goes on. Jeremy Yukic, I love this. He's an EMT. He drives the boo-boo bus with flashy lights and the wee-woos when I'm not racing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great description there, Jeremy.
I know.
That's I've heard about someone being an EMT. Basically what we call he's an ambulance crew member. EMT is basically the Americanized term because of where Jeremy's from.
Absolutely.
So well played, Jeremy. Well played by saying that.
And he gets to do some racing around the traffic.
Exactly. And that's legal where he is. That's legal if you are an EMT. Right, okay. Now getting on with things, of course, 3 sectors to worry about. Thank goodness. Catalunya, I recently got it right. However, got a new couple of additions. We have got John Jennings in the number 5 Aston Martin, and also Chris Nichols in the 25 Ferrari. Now, we talked about this last week, JP. George Reyes.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen he's gone quickest here in this qualifying session, 1 minute 40.489. But we have seen that effectively he is not completely infallible. He has made a couple of mistakes during free practice.
He has, but we harp on. There has to become a time in the championship where they have to fight George Reyes. There has to be. And now has got to be that time. They're 1 race away. And he's only, what is he at the moment, 30 points back or something ridiculous like that?
He's 37 off of Sam Berry.
Yeah, 37 back, and he's got 40 for a win coming if he does win. That puts him, right up there going into the final round, and they've got to fight him at some point. I know there's been talk in the Discord, and we don't see the point. He's faster, he is faster, but you gotta fight, because otherwise none of you are going to take this pros. If you're resting on your laurels thinking we're 23 points ahead of Reyes, it don't matter. It really does not matter, because Reyes will take 40 if he wins. It's a very tricky game, and that as well. So, yeah, they've got to be careful. All those have just been gifted memberships, no problem at all whatsoever. It does leave you access to some wonderful emotes that you can just put in chat for the sake of it. So there we go. You can have all of these wonderful things that you can mess around with.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. JP, because my name came up as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I pay you twice. How rude. There we go. But yeah, I just think that now comes the time. Now we're in warm-up. Now comes the time where they've got to fight Reyes. They have to. They cannot sit back. He can take a possible 80 points from 2 rounds to go, and they may not get that. They're resting on their laurels. They've just got to go back at him at the moment. But see what happens. Catalunya is one of them circuits where anything can happen. So we'll see how they get on. But yeah, if you're going to fight, now's the time, because I think he's just took pole position as well.
He has by quite a good margin. I think it was a good 2 to 3 tenths of a second. So everyone in the pro class, they've got to get their big world pants on tonight here at Barcelona. And it has to be elbows out and fight all the way along. Good to say our resident Viking, Mr. Sindri Johansson, running with the same livery he ran last week at Mexico. He's been trialling some liveries as a man who's got 3 third places in a row. Always a nice pleasure to see the Harrods liveried McLaren of Marcosia, our man from the OGRL, the Old Guys Racing League, which will always be on a Sunday here on the JP Broadcasting Network. Let us know in the chat. We've got one more round to go, and it is the circuit that Mr. Parfitt has talked and waxed lyrical about the fact it's not his favourite circuit. It's 90 minutes of Indianapolis. But of course, the thing is, folks, whatever happens tonight, as long as we've got a really, really good run with some of our big players in the Pro and the Am category, we will have a fight to the title go down to 90 minutes at the Brickyard next week. So, championships will not be decided tonight.
No, it's not. It's going to go down to the final round, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes out where, I think, on that one. I'd rather do 90 minutes at Nords, I've got to be honest, than next week. But hey, I'm not in charge. We just broadcast and talk about it. So there we go. I just think that there's going to be a lot of things that's going to happen. I am a little bit worried about Sindri Johansson, and the reason for that, and it may sound very, very blinking superstitious indeed, and that's just the way I am, is every time, I'm just checking that I've got this right, he's changed his livery for the last 3 rounds since the Red Bull Ring. He's finished on the podium. I'm just worried he hasn't changed his livery. And will he end up on the podium? I know that makes me a superstitious fool, but I am all up for that as well, because when he started changing, before he changed his livery from the Road Atlanta, he was down in 12th. Now every time he's changed his livery, every week after that, he's been in 3rd place on the podium. Is this going to be Sindri Johansson grabbing 3rd on the podium without changing his livery, or will he change his livery next week to get that 3rd place back? Because if that works out that he doesn't grab that podium because he's not changed his livery, well, then my superstitions are true. I'm sorry on that one. I know I'm a superstitious fool, you know what I mean? If I do something good in a pair of pants, I'll wear the same pair of pants when I'm doing the same thing. But yeah, it just seems coincidental.
Frankie pants, you know.
Yeah, it just seems very coincidental that every time he's changed his livery, he's got a podium. And I'm worried that he hasn't changed his livery.
The jury's still out on that one, JP. I mean, we got a 60-minute race here at Barcelona, and if anyone did catch the fantastic season finale for this year's SRO GT World Challenge powered by AWS Endurance, the final round of the overall season, which decided so many of the titles, there was carnage into the first couple of corners. So we have got the best part of nearly 30 cars on the grid. Checkered is out here at warm-up. So many of the drivers did set some lap times. George Reyes, Chris Haynes, Sindri Johansson and Simon Darch rounding out the 4 that did. But here is your grid for the penultimate round of the season here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. 2.894 miles, 4.657 kilometres, 14 turns in all. George Reyes and Craig Corish. Now that's a big old surprise. The Porsche could handle it well around here at Barcelona. They line up on the front row. Andy White and the returning Hayden Young make their way onto the second row. Good to see Peter Duke from DC Motorsport, who's still got an opportunity. He's on 118 points, so he's only 39 off our pro leader at the moment. Harry Hartley-Price, Season 6 champion, Season 7 runner-up, rounds out the top 6. Look at the result there for the 2 Mustangs. Quinton Klumpert, 7th in AM, Baz Cutting, Wayne Douglas, and then Sindri Johansson rounds out your top 10. Both Mustangs showing good pace around here at Barcelona. Chris Haynes and Simon Nelthorpe round at the 6th row. Next up, it's James Moore and Raymond Van Zutphen. Joel Loudon, Mark Wesley, James Vardigans. Then we got Alex Bunte, Sean Clark, Gareth Newton rounding out the top 20. Paul West, Chris Nichols, Harry Seven, Simon Dart. And then after that, we got Stan Berry all the way down in 25th. John Jennings, Glenn Applard, and Mark Ozian, the last 4 drivers. So Stan Berry, he is very much on the back foot. This is the penultimate round of season number 8. Go to Indianapolis for the 90-minute final round, but the Mustang pace car pulls away. It is going to be down to Reyes. Can Corish go with him on the start? Through New Holland, here at turn number 14, and already Reyes put the pedal to the metal out of the final corner. And the drivers now start to battle. We are green and underway here for round number 7. Reyes gets the whole shot. Craig Corish has got Andy White right in tow. Hayden Young just ahead of Peter Duke as we head down to L. Here at turn number 1 for the first time, it's 3 wide towards the back part of the top 10. But straight away, Reyes has got the jump he needed. Andy White going side by side with his Clark St. James teammate to Craig Corish in the 992 Porsche. But more to the point, well, Jennings, Abbard and Berry has started from the pit lane. That is disastrous for the Pro Championship leader.
Well, at the moment, I'm going to have to find out if that is completely true because he's in
YouTube
Reyes!
Chat. Reyes is off! Reyes has dropped it already on the opening lap! And Craig Corish takes the lead. Disaster for the number 37. Oh, it's going to go! Oh, no! That is disaster. I did say there was challenge for that one. Challenge. And it was well.
Oh, Peter Duke off the side of the circuit, Reyes off the side of the circuit, Cutting, Moore, Wesley, all involved in incidents and accidents. Sam Berry can't make it during practice, but something's popped up, he said, and he's had to bail out, unfortunately for Sam. But Reyes off the side of the circuit there, and unfortunately, was that any form of incident on his own, or did he just literally drop it without anybody in and around him? And by the looks of it, it was all on his own, and then chaos kicked off behind that. James Moore started it off as well. When if you look on the left-hand side, Reyes is coming back onto the racetrack. Moore, he got hit. He got hit by Mark Wesley.
He got hit. Mark Wesley right up the tail end of the Aston Martin. And now George Reyes drops down to 13. Craig Corish leads the top 2. What will be lap number 2, followed by Andy White. Hayden Young now up to P3. Here's a bit of drama for Peter Duke.
No, he sent him back to pit lane. Whatever this was.
And Sindri Johansson. Sindri, that was a bit too clumsy. And he clashed Duke. No doing. All Cox off travel as well. And there's more drama behind. I think James Vardigan is also involved with one of the other Porsches. I think that was Alex Hunter losing his front bumper.
Yeah.
Now, I did say this could be a race that could change the dynamic of this championship, and more to the point, it has so far. Craig Corish leads by nearly 0.6 of a second as George Reyes trying to find his way around Raymond Van Zutphen at the moment. He's got Joel Loudon to the inside, and the W2W Racing Blue Ferrari is struggling here at Barcelona. I thought there might be a bit of change. I felt a change in the air, JP. A bit of, when you get that gut feeling that something might happen. Well, what on earth have we had here? We've had madness, we've had chaos, and all of a sudden, the man who's been the tour de force for, what is it, the last 3 rounds has come unstuck on his own. He basically put himself on his own board, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing at the moment. Connor's trying to keep up with all the incidents. He said there's too many to list, but he is investigating them all at this moment in time. But Reyes is going to have to come back through the field now. He's got an 8-second gap to your leader, Craig Corish. Look who's there. It's the Tom Cruise Top Gun Iceman build-up at the front, as it's always Craig Corish and Andy White. Harry Harley-Price is not too far away either. Hayden Young is literally the meat between the sandwiches of the Clark St. James Motorsport. Then behind that is Wayne Douglas. But then look at the arms. It's Quinton Klumpert, Sindre Johansson just hanging on to second place, 2.47 seconds ahead of Chris Haynes as well. But they've got to be careful here at the same time. One mistake, and as we've seen with Reyes, you're right down the order. And Reyes is coming back through the field. He's trying to get a hold of Chris Haynes at this moment in time. We've lost Sam Berry, we've lost Ablard, we've lost Jennings all at the beginning of the race. We're not quite sure what happened to some of the others, but we do know that obviously Sam Berry cannot make it due to something popping up.
Well, Sam Berry used that as a drop round. So we are coming up to the completion of the first 5 minutes of what has been an action-packed. How can I say it? Not something that describes Barcelona. An absolute howitzer of a race so far. And George Reyes is having to close in on Chris Haynes. Right, car number 16, causing a collision, gets a 5-second time penalty. That is Sindre Johansson, currently sitting second. And look at the two Mustangs. Oh, George Reyes starts living in the back bumper of Chris Haynes going through turn number 13. And Chris is not going to like that one iota. I mean, if he had Brexy with him, he might be biting him with his front teeth on the bumper of the Porsche. Here comes George Reyes down the start-finish straight. He's got the McLaren. And bearing in mind, it's not a battle for class position. This is a battle for overall race position. George Reyes retakes 8th position. Craig Corish still leads the way with White, Young, Hartley-Price and Douglas rounding out the top 5. And look at the Mustang. Klumpert and Johansson, first and second in the AMS, 6th and 7th overall. There's also been a warning. I think that was Peter Duke, the rejoin.
Yeah, it was.
But Peter's he's retired from the race. It looks like that's a real shame. So, quite really interesting that Robert Wanderer has just said in chat. Reyes joined race 3, didn't he?
Yeah.
No. George Reyes started Red Bull Ring round 4.
Yeah, and he's won every race since.
On every race so far, Alex Hunter in the number 44 Porsche that is missing its front bumper, still chasing down James Moore. Now James has got to try and make some inroads here. Incident involving car 88, Mark Wesley, and car number 17,
James Moore.
That is up. Yeah, James Moore. So, as Jonathan rightly said, he has had a lot of incidents to get through. So we'll wait for the attention messages. Oh, Raymond Van Stupken's just dropped it and has ended up towards the bottom part of the top 20. And that's Simon Dart going a bit wrong, allowing Marc Osier in the McLaren. 5-second penalty for Mark Wesley for causing a collision. Fun, in other words. So these penalties are coming in second fast, JP, because poor old Connor Ping He's got his hands full tonight.
Yeah, we have in this group at the back here, Moore, Pante, West, Van Zutphen, Nichols, Seven and Loudon. They're going side by side at the moment as well. Don't you only get one drop week, and he's had 3 technically. The thing is as well though, it depends on how strong. Don't forget he's dropping a top score. He isn't dropping anything low, so this might possibly be. I think, where was he actually? He had, where did he have a, where, I'm trying to think now.
Well, Red Bull Ring, he decided not to qualify.
Yeah, come from back, so it would be from the Red Bull Ring. I think it'd be one of them, if he's got to drop one, that is. Unless they, of course, they turn around and say rounds 3, 1, 2 and 3 can be a drop score, because there was a 0 score there. So technically he could drop a 0 as well, which is better. 5-second penalty for car number 44. That is Pante for causing a collision. So there's been a lot of dramas taking place down in this group, down towards the back end, which is Pante, West, Van Zutphen, Nichols, Loudon and Seven all involved. You can see movements up above us as well. Paul West has just lost a place to Alex Pante and has also now got Joel Loudon and just coming up right behind him at the same time. So a lot's gone on. Battle right at the front and a battle right at the back.
Yeah, we're not even 10 minutes in, and the close quarter action here at the circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya definitely has been a good one. Oh, what a move there! Up the inside of Alex Pante through Europe car at turn 13 by Paul West, the Welshman. The Union Jack, definitely one of our favourite liveries here in the series, adorning that McLaren. Talk about some catering there. And now Joel Loudon towards the inside of Chris Nichols, who's also decided to.
He's going to get
Alex Pante's got straight to the back of him. Alex Pante is going to incur the wrath of race control. Now, look at this, just the closing speed. And it catches Pante out. So, Nichols, bang, there's the contact. And the Ferrari's rear end is completely rearranged. You're back to McLaren's, and that might be game over.
It is. I think you're done and dusted there. I don't think Chris Nichols is going to carry on from that one. But I do feel Alex Pante might be in a little bit of trouble. So we're going to find out how this is going at the moment.
I think he's going to be more than in trouble. He's going to be on the north step with the dunce mat, and then give the straight jacket.
Yeah. 44 for causing a collision, dive bombing car number 112. So that's Pante again. And 112 is Nelthorpe, who is also out. So unfortunately, Pante could be in deep duties here, because I wonder if he's got anything to do with Nelthorpe. He can't have something to do with that. Jesus Christ, he's miles away. I think that could be Nelthorpe just losing it on his own there. And it was. Where else did Nelthorpe get sent off track?
Well, that was off on his own accord.
Yeah, he's off there on his own accord.
Yeah.
He's been off here as well. God blimey, how many times has he been off track, poor Simon?
Simon's had a real shocker of the season.
No, he's not had a good start to this either, to be blatantly honest.
No.
Goes around again now. Maybe that might have been right towards the beginning that Nelthorpe had some drama, but at the moment, Simon Darch is side by side. That is with the Audi of Raymond Van Zutphen. Van Zutphen has just overtaken and made that position ahead. I know. So there you go. So that's what's going on there. Now I'm interested to see. Are you going to do this, Loudon? Almost.
Nearly.
So yeah, Joel Loudon having a nice little battle. I did want to go up front, but I'm a little bit worried that nothing's actually happening up there, and the action is a little bit further back. Nichols has got a meatball, but that's no surprise. That poor old Ferrari went off to the moon and back. Yeah, I'm not surprised he's got a meatball. As Loudon's going to tuck it up the inside here. Is he? No, not this time.
Now the thing is, when you consider it, you have got 3 of the 5 leading cars at the pro class: Craig Gorish, Oxford J, and Mike, Oxford J, Harry Mark 5, Oxford J. All I'm going to say is it's the strength of numbers, but also you've got Wayne Douglas from DC Motorsport, these very, very strong and accomplished teammates of drive through 4, car 44. Alex Bante, what a surprise!
I'm not shocked about that, unfortunately. I got a funny feeling this next one, he might be a little bit of a naughty boy and he might be getting a harsher penalty.
I think the next penalty he gets will be a stop and hold.
At least, I think he's got that coming, to be blatantly honest. If he hasn't got anything after that, if he doesn't cause any more drama, then he might be all right. But he's got a penalty, an iRacing penalty there for Alex Bante, or it might actually be the penalty that Connor has just possibly given him.
Well, Connor's been so busy, he hasn't been able to populate the race control Discord chat we have here. So
Connor gave him the drive-through, apparently. So that's his drive-through that he's got going on there as well. Sindre Johansson is now still ahead of Chris Haynes, but Chris has got Baz Cutting coming up behind him as well. Reyes, just for anybody that really wants to know, is 4.5 seconds back from Wayne Douglas. And mind you, Reyes last time out...
Hayden Young trying to make a move there, up inside Man White, got through. Hayden finally breaks the deadlock. There's a bit of a clash. He touches wheels with White going to number 13. Now Hayden Young, at the moment, already sits fourth in the championship on 124 points. Andy White 11 points ahead of him. Harry Hartley-Price on 154. Craig Corish. Now, this man has had a
Alex, 2 seconds. Let's go side by side into turn 1. Young tucks in behind. He's going to get a better exit out of 2. He's going to look for the run on the right-hand side of 3. Wade Douglas is having a good old go in the background over Harry Hartley-Price as well. And is this the separation of the Clark St. James Motorsports boys? I don't know if Hayden may have let him back through or he didn't really defend back into turn number 1 there. I didn't see anything wrong with his overtake. I just thought he opened it up and ran a little bit wide and gave Andy White something to sort of think about. White, on the other hand, Jesus Christ, if he flashed his lights so much, he would have caused a power cut in wherever he lived, as he was flashing him that much. But Hayden Young's now going to have to try and go again. If he feels that is the case, that there was contact that made the overtake happen, then Hayden Young's just going to have to do it cleanly. And then that way, he don't have to give it back. If he did give it back, of course, to me, he didn't really defend into 1. And knowing what Young is like, I'm pretty sure if he was going to defend, he would have whacked that McLaren right over to the right-hand side and hugged that white line tighter than his favourite grandma. Wayne Douglas on the other end.
Clashes with Harry Hartley-Price. So Wayne Douglas trying to get through. The move has been completed. Now fight a little bit robustly. The biggest problem now is that George Reyes is only 1.7 seconds away from the man in the number 98 car. So George Reyes, on his own mistake, there he is, back a shot through turn 13. And now, folks, all I'm saying is Craig Corish is starting to pull away. 2 seconds over Andy White, right on board on the wonderful camera here on the right-hand side of the Aston Martin. Listen to that thunderous 4-litre twin-turbo V8 lump that's front mounted on this car. Lovely standing vehicle. I'm so glad that iRacing brought this car onto the tree group of cars. We've seen that Clark St. James Motorsport in this championship. Okay, yes, Clark St. James are one of the title sponsors of the series. That notwithstanding, they have really, really started to refine the setup on the cars, and that's what you're seeing. Andy White, Harry Hartley-Price, and in made the switch to the car, it has become competitive in their hands. And when you've got straight by numbers, you've got a multitude of different driver talents that can make the best out of any kind of situation when it comes to setup.
Oh, dearie me, 2 seconds. I tell you what, HP's going to be under pressure shortly. Reyes is coming at Hartley-Price and he's coming at a rapid rate of knots, and it is showing on the lap times 41.53. Reyes last time out 43.97 for Hartley-Price. Reyes 2 seconds quicker than Hartley-Price in front of him, and unfortunately for Hartley-Price, he's been pulled in lap after lap after lap after lap, and it's down there on the bottom of his screen. 5 laps, and Reyes has been pulling time in on him constantly. Now, we talked the championship. They've got to defend the championship. Please defend the championship. Hartley Price sitting in second at the moment. If Reyes clears him, Hartley Price could be in trouble towards the end. And I tell you what, guys, you may sit home and think, oh my God, he's off again, he's ranting about it. But you do not know how quick this man is. It's 40 points for a win. He will literally go on to 160, which if he stays as they are, is ahead of Hartley Price going into the final round, depending on what Hartley Price gets as well, depending on drop rounds. And Reyes at the moment has just
there he goes, up the inside! Up the inside! No, Hartley Price sticks his elbows out through at Rapstall. Into the left-hander here at Sayat. And Hartley Price is going to keep it to the inside, but Reyes is going to find that Ferrari round the outside of him through Sayat, and he's got through. That's one goal now. 4 more to go. So Craig Corish is doing the right kind of strategy, but George Reyes needs to mind out for that toss curve at first, because that could have unsettled the back end of that Ferrari and spun it around quicker than Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, but he's now got to go forward. Douglas is there, 1.5 up the road as well. How's he looking over Douglas? Well, that's the situation. He's been quicker than Douglas for the last 5 laps as well. Is there anybody this man isn't quicker than? And Douglas has got to get him out at the same time. Well, for Wayne Douglas in the championship, Douglas is behind Reyes. Okay? Behind Reyes in the championship. So Douglas has got to get his elbows out, try and hold this man up at least a little bit. But it's going to be, when he gets to the nitty gritty, it's going to be the likes of Young, it's going to be the likes of White, it's going to be the likes of Corish. All of these guys are ahead of him in that championship. And Douglas claimed a lap, or should say 6 thousandths of a second over Reyes, which, guys, you can't even blink your eyes at that either, to be honest, at that speed. But yeah, it's when he gets up to the others, he's got to be careful. Klumpert's got to slow down. Haynes, Vardigans, Clark, Wesley, Sindra Johansson is in pit lane. That is due to the fact that Sindra went off the track and has lost his top 3. Is my superstition coming true? Well, I don't want to be, I told you so, but I will be at the end of the race, especially when he did that.
Yeah, and that's not gonna buff out, I'm afraid, Sindri, but nevertheless, still got an opportunity. And Connor Peak has just said, right, I finally caught up. Jeez.
Well done, Connor.
George Reyes again through Perth on that exit is using that sausage curve again. I've got a bit of a feeling now that, as you can see, Hayden Young going towards Andy White. So they've got to start pulling away. They cannot do what they're doing now. I mean, George Reyes has lost a bit of time to Wayne Douglas. The gap is 1.5 seconds. Now, I've got a possible funny feeling that Reyes might go a little bit longer on the decision with regards to pit stop. Of course, 60% fuel limit for all cars. Hayden Young looking really, really racy behind Andy White as the Torque Monster. A McLaren 720S GT3 Evo 4-litre twin turbo V8 mid-mounted versus Aston Martin, also 4-litre twin turbo V8 front mounted. Down the start finish straight in towards turn 1 here at Elf. The gap between them is about 0.2 of a second, but the McLaren seems to be a little bit better planted. Andy White having to use a little bit more curbing through turn 2. Now into 3 at Renault, and you can just see, look at how smooth Hayden Young is currently on the steering wheel. That is nice and calm. They do say smooth as fast, and that's very much the case here at Barcelona.
Absolutely. You can see White and Reyes' times on the bottom. White there, incident involving 46 and 86 being investigated. That's fine. White is basically slower than Reyes over the last 5 laps, bar 1, where he was a tenth quicker. So Reyes and White at the moment, you can see Reyes is pulling time out on White as well. So he's got to be White's. For Reyes, he's got to get a wiggle on, and he's only literally 8 tenths back from Wayne Douglas at the moment. Hayden Young is pushing Andy White. These two have got to make a decision, either fight or not, because I can tell you one thing, he's going to be in deep, deep doo-doo if Reyes clears Douglas easily. And I do mean easily. If he gets him, it could be that he's on a charge, and he ain't going to hang around. He don't care what White's up to. He don't care what Young's up to. Reyes wants that win. I've got a funny feeling, you know, if he's here next week, he will want to go for that championship. If he is mathematically in an ounce or a shot of going for that championship, he will go for it next week. We've talked about it, and everybody was up and uproar about the Discord. There's no point defending him. He's quicker. He's only here for a few rounds. Yada, yada, yada. He's been here for the last 4 rounds. He's won 3 of the last 4. And if he gets ahead of this one, it's 4 out of 4. And then are you going to be laughing when he's on 160 points and you're still scraping around on 150? That's all I'm going to say.
Sam Perry won't be happy because he'll be on 157 points, 3 behind the man here.
Exactly.
That's one thing. So, but Harry Hartley Price is currently P6. Looking at great things to be. Craig Corrish should go up to 103 points before the final round. Andy White, that would be 34. So that would put him on 169. So we are going to have a change in championship lead. And it could be the case that Harry Hartley Price will be the leader going into the final round of the season. Connor Pink, car 86, car 46. No further action to be taken. And that's Andy White versus Hayden Young. So Jeremy Yukish says that you sound like you're going to need to give him a lift in a bit.
Wayne! Oh, Jesus Christ, I might have to. The Mercedes is a Rottweiler, it's a growler, it's a... And then Wayne Douglas is just treated like a little yappy dachshund. Go through, dear sir. Off you go. Yap, 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 yap. Stroke my belly. Wayne. I know you're not in the championship, but boy, oh boy, could you have kind of held him up. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's down to the 3 in front. How much are they going to fight this out? Do they even know? Do they even think Reyes has got an opportunity? And that's why they're not fighting him. If he's not in with it next week, I will literally eat my hat, right? But I've got a funny feeling Reyes is going to be right up there. He's going to be up there. And
yes.
And I've said this all along, and they're going to be in trouble. I tell you what, they will be in your trouble. Because you're a bit, Jeremy, you're a bit far away from me, dear sir, to do anything. If I all of a sudden, you know...
Dentures. Mr. Reed, why no race? And on you, our resident Scottish commenter, Jared Love saying, why are people not cancelling?
I don't know, Jared. This is why I've said this.
Jared, you need to get into a voice chat and say, guys, get your big boy pants up.
They're going to have to.
And get your elbows out. Because now, George Reyes is 9/10 away from Hayden Young. Now, Hayden is in competition for this series. Now, he already has a 0 because he wasn't here at Rebel Ring because he was on holiday. Craig Corrish. Lamar wasn't here, was on holiday. Now, Craig Corrish really has an opportunity to keep himself in the championship hunt. It's going to be so close at the end of this race. It is going to come down to what happens next week. I did tell everybody this when we started this show that it was going to go down both fights. And more to the point, who is going to be on the top step? Can it be this man here, Hayden Young, who was the one that started the winning, the different drivers winning so far in the pros? Hayden Young won round 1, Harry Hartley Price won round 2, Peter Duke won round 3, and then it's been 3 straight wins for George Reyes. These 3 now have got to concentrate on one thing: be a roadblock and keep George Reyes at bay. We're at the 34-minute mark until the end of the race, but we are not that far on the pit stops, and that is going to decide who is going to be where, who is going to stay out for the longest. Now, I would say that Hayden Young has an opportunity to stay out for a little bit longer because he stayed behind White. He had a little nibble at him. Craig Corrish is now being reeled in. Craig Corrish at one point had a 2.2 second lead, and now that is not even that. And now I think here comes the strength by numbers. They would be better off if they had a third wingman up there, in the second wingman up there in the form of Harry Hartley Price in the back of shot. But now, if Hayden Young can keep to where he is at the moment, George Reyes only 1.1 seconds behind in fourth, dropped all the way down to 14th position after his moment at turn 4, lap number 1 on this race. And then we had all the carnage that then ensued after the race leader went off. This is where it's going to be crucial. Hayden Young decides, right, I'm going to get out of the way now, and I'm going to make them sitting ducks. So he's trying for the undercut here. Corish and White have got a push.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was the right thing to do. Because if these guys up here are White and Corish do not get this sorted out, Reyes is going to be there straight away. So we're going to find out whether or not Hayden Young's done the right thing. And I personally think he has done the right thing there, getting out of the way. He's going to look for clean air. If he can get out of the pit lane after Chris Haynes or even just before Chris Haynes, it looks like he's likely to be after. There's a big old gap that he can nestle into as long as he gets out before the likes of Mark Wesley. If he does that, he is in a gap in the track. This is it now. He's only got Chris Haynes to go through, and that is it. Other than that, there is no traffic around him whatsoever. So this is a great opportunity for Hayden Young to go hell to leather to get these guys fighting. And at the moment, Reyes is not too far about to find out what goes on here again. So Reyes can get this involved. He can slow down White, he can slow down Corish, and there's nothing stopping Hayden Young coming out in front at the moment as well.
No, so Hayden Young rejoins in 9th position behind Chris Hayes. So George Reyes now P3, 8 tenths behind Andy White. Craig Corish has led every single lap so far. We're on lap number 17, about to complete lap number 18. Like Sean Clark has come out of the pit lane. Joel Loudon has come out of the pit lane. Paul West is in the pits, but he's been in there for more than likely some kind of damage. Oh, now Andy White has got through on Craig Corish as Corish has come into the pit
lane.
So maybe a call there by Craig Corish.
Try and get out of the way.
Yeah, get out of the way. But the thing is, that Porsche has been absolutely in that man's hands all night since George Reyes dropped it.
I think they've done right. If I was White, though, I would have done the same thing. I would have gone in and got out the way, because you don't want to be slow. You can't afford to be slowed down at all by this man behind you, because when Hayden Young is coming and he's going to jump Craig Corish, he is going to jump Craig Corish. Hayden Young effectively has just jumped the leader, and he didn't even make the overtake on track. He done it in pit lane. They were messing around at the front between him and Andy White. And now Craig Corish is a long way back, 3.9 seconds, and just comes out in front of Mark Wesley. And unfortunately for Corish, that was purely because them two could not sort it out in front. And they've done it for this race again. It's not the first time that we've said about both of these guys being careful at the front, and they haven't got this right. And unfortunately for Clark Sir James, they're now not even in the lead on the track effectively after pit stops, because that will go to this man, and he has just got a great run now, and he's just cleared Corish, the leader of the race, going into the pit stop strategy, and now Corish has come out behind him. Hayden Young's on for an opportunity here, and if I was White, get that car in the pit lane. Get it in pit lane. You've had another lap.
There he goes. Pit stops. Hayden Young, 17.38 seconds. Craig Corish, 21.9. That's where the gap was lost. Craig Corish might have had a little bit more fuel in the Porsche, whereas I think Hayden Young has been on a conservation strategy, because normally, as we saw at the Nürburgring, he would be flying out of the blocks. So Andy White is now taking on fuel, and incident involving car number 123 and number 16 being investigated.
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Okay. He's going to jump in again. He's going to get the second one. He's already up to full speed. He's coming down pit road. Hayden Young's just gone and done the next one. He didn't even again do it on the racetrack, Alex. He did it in pit lane, and he's just sent Andy White right back with Craig Corish again. Hayden Young has got that one absolutely nailed, and he did it at the right time. He saw Reyes come in, went nope, dived in pit lane, and them two between White and Corish could sort it out. Corish is now sat in behind Gareth Newton as well. He can't even get past Gareth Newton at the moment. He's stuck in behind him, and at the moment for Andy White, well, what is he at the moment? Another 3 seconds back from Hayden Young. Young has jumped him, and again it was in pit lane, and again it was on the fuel, because Andy White 19.33 stop, Hayden Young 17.38, and then in between that Corish 21.97, so it was lost on the pit stop time.
And everyone's going on YouTube chat about bleeding Volvo GT3s.
I'm not even sure why they're going on about that, to be blatantly honest. I'm not even sure what's happening.
No idea, absolutely no idea. There's no model on the current range apart from probably the outgoing V40. You can probably stick with the GT3 and have to make the 3-door. That's all I was saying on that, because I drive the V40, end of conversation. Quinton Clumper now in Ampar's lead. Quinton has done a stellar job in that Flying Dutchman Mustang. But it is now down to what happens with our top three. Chris Hayes, we have to give a shout out to in the 97 McLaren. He's done a sterling job. He's up to P6-2 in Am the moment. He's got 27 minutes on the timer left to go. And Quinton Clumper's probably about halfway through his pit stop. But Hayden Young, at this moment in time, has put it in the prime position. And looking at his lap time, he is back to George Reyes. George Reyes is only doing he's just done a 1:42.371. Hayden Young, 1:42.398. He is now starting to push that McLaren that little bit harder. Not to the point where it goes beyond the limit, but more to the point of, right, let's keep it pace. Let's just see what we can do. And the thing is now, we are 26.25 minutes until the checkered flag.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is going to put Hayden Young straight bang to title contention for next week, because in comparison with a lot of the other drivers he's racing with, he has a 0-drop score, which puts him at a significant strategic advantage here at this penultimate round of the season. Wayne Douglas now pits here on lap 21. So, George Reyes, how far can he push the Ferrari on that 60% fuel tank limit?
Well, we're going to find out here as well, find out if whether or not Reyes is going to get there. Andy White just looks like he's passed Chris Haynes. I don't think Haynes really wanted much to do with that whatsoever, but it's still 3 seconds. He's got to get back up to Hayden Young. Vardigans, Moore and Clark are having a nice little tidy battle a little bit further down in the AMS. Douglas is in pit lane. He's sitting in third. Young's just about to overtake him and get another position back there. 5-second penalty for car number 1, 2, 3. That's Harry 7, who's been a naughty boy, and Sean Clark and Moore have all just, there he is, I wondered where he was coming from, and James Moore on the left hand side goes through.
It's all started to go really, really horribly wrong for Harry 7 at the moment, and
why did he let him back through again?
Not too sure on that one, really.
Was there contact on the original overtake, or did he just... You didn't make contact with him, mate. I'm a bit confused why you let him through. Or did you make contact? No, not really. I'm not really sure why Moore let him back through. But he definitely let him through, and now he's chasing down Clark again. Douglas, look where Douglas has come out. Straight in front of Andy White and Craig Corish. So even Wayne Douglas managed to jump him.
Well, that just goes to show that some drivers are really, really chancing it. With the pit stops doing the undercut.
Yeah. Well, here we go now. This is where we're going to find out where Young's going to come in, because at the moment, Hartley Price is in. Reyes is in. Reyes is just on the stops. Oh, he's changing tyres.
Did you see? He hit the wall. He hit the wall.
And he's changing tyres.
He hit the wall.
Why is he changing tyres? Does he think that he's cooked his tyres, trying to chase everybody down again? I'm not even sure where that is. But I can tell you what, that's going to cause a problem here, because he may end up with Hartley Price coming out in front of him. He still didn't. Hayden Young got both of them. Hayden Young got both of them. He got Reyes. He got everybody. Douglas has got Reyes. White's got Reyes.
There we go.
They've got to fight now. You've got him again. You've got to fight. You cannot allow him back through. You've got to get your elbows out, because if he takes 40, I don't know why he's taking tyre. If he takes another 40 points, this championship is going to be fully wide open in this one. Reyes now has got White, he's got Douglas, and he's got Young, and he's doing it all on fresh tyre, or a tyre, or whatever he's going to do. I don't really know what he's got on the car, but he's got to try and do something with it. And now but the problem is he's got 2 laps, 2 laps maybe, before the tyres warm up properly on this new GT3 tyre model, and you can see straight away he's struggling to get that car moving, because he's just lost 3.4 seconds and he didn't come out that far behind him. But he's got to literally try and get the tyres warm. Somebody's off the side of the circuit there, not quite sure who that Mercedes was. I think it was Simon Darch, but they've got to. These 2 guys now, as soon as he gets that tyres warm, they're going to have 20 minutes to try and fight him. And they've got to make sure they can, because they've taken the opportunity with their already pre-warm tyres that they've already got on. They're now 4.2 ahead, and he's in behind Simon Darch. So they've got to go, but at the moment, Hayden Young looks like he could wrap this one up.
Yeah, he's doing that already. He's already 3.3 seconds up the road from Wayne Douglas. So now he's started to bolt. Simon Darch gets out of the way and picks up the gravel. So now, from this perspective, George Reyes, he's going to have maybe a lap or 2 before those cold tyres, cold brakes start warming up again. And at this point, it is now, what does Hayden Young do? Well, Hayden Young now knows that the time is now to push. 21.5 minutes to go. He has got to make a lot of clear air between himself and Wayne Douglas. Andy White chasing down the DC Motorsport 166 for that second position. And it's, and I think very good point by Mr. Wooden Wanderer. If it finishes like this, it's a godsend for Sam Berry. You're spot on the nose for that comment there. Reason being, it keeps Sam Berry in the fight, because going into next week's finale, Sam Berry, drop round, 0. Harry Hartley-Price, drop round, 0. Hayden Young, drop round, 0. Andy White, out of the top 5, has scored points on every single round so far this season.
Yeah, it's going to have to find out what the point situation is going to be here after this one. We are going to have to keep an eye on it. Sindri Hansen, you're still grabbing 3rd, but you've only got Gareth Newton tucked in right behind you, with Mark Wesley not far back as well. So Sindra's run of 3rd places is still where it is at this moment, but he's only got 20 minutes to hang on to that place there and keep that 3rd place streak alive, which is what he's trying to do at this moment in time. Car 44, incident limit reached. Alex Pante for a drive through there as well. That guy's had an absolute rotten race tonight. He's literally it's been dreadful for him. So I'm not surprised that that's come out already. And Craig Corish is there with Harry Hartley-Price, clearing the 1-2-3 machine of Harry 7.
Yeah, Harry 7 has really had a mare of second half of this season. And at the moment, he's going to have to dust himself off, pick himself back up again, and go hell for leather next time out. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Marc Ossier there as well. He's literally just reached his incident limit. Corish and Hartley-Price, they did this in the first half of this race before the pit stops, and it didn't help you then, and it's probably not going to help you now. Go forward. You have to try and decide who is the quicker one, because it lost you both of the positions that you were in. And let's not forget, you were up there at the same time, and George Reyes is now jumped both of you. Andy White's jumped both of you. Wayne Douglas, not Andy White, because Andy White was in front of Hartley Price, but Wayne Douglas has jumped all of you, and Hayden Young jumped all of you currently. So they've got to make sure now that these two here can decide which way round this has got to be. And at the moment, if it is Corish, let Corish go. Reyes, quick update, not making inroads at the moment on White. He's still 4.1 seconds, give or take. We're chasing him down currently at the moment. 18 minutes to go. Reyes is going to find out. So let's see what White did at 42.5, give or take. Did he? He did. What did Reyes do? 41.87. So he's just taking a chunk out of him at the moment. So Reyes is coming, Alex, but he's coming not at probably the rate he wants.
I think it was probably the wiser decision at that point that Hayden Young, Wayne Douglas, Andy White did not take tyres.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, George Reyes put himself at a bit of a difficult point there. Because if there was no new GT3 tyre model coming in, and I've just heard from poor old Mark Ozier, he nosedived the pit wall. But that's one thing that you can do easily here at Barcelona. Because it is quite a sweeping right-hander into turn number 14. But I think with Reyes, putting those tyres on may not have been the best idea, but considering how hard he had to push after going off circuit at turn 4, lap 1, he burnt those tyres right through the carcass, so he's had no other alternative. New fresh set of boots on, and with that, old tyres, old brakes, is going to take several laps. I mean, what lap did he fit on? Lap 21. So he's on lap 4 now.
He should be good to go. He should be still good to push.
Go now, but the big thing is 16 3/4 minutes remaining on the clock. Hayden Young has a lead over Wayne Douglas, 3.6 seconds. He is 7 seconds ahead of George Reyes, and the main thing is the time differential. Hayden Young just did a 1:42.4. George Reyes just did a 41.377. So Hayden, a little bit of forewarned is forearmed, as they say. Get your elbows out ready now.
I think Hayden Young, from his perspective, he's just got to keep driving. He's just got to keep doing his 42s. I don't think young Reyes is going to have enough time to get further up to him either currently at the moment. Sorry, that was not what I wanted to show. Reyes is 6.6 seconds and is pulling out basically about, saying that, 1.1 seconds per lap. 1.1, so within 7 laps at 1:42, that's going to be about 12 minutes. Oh, Reyes could get there right near the end.
He could do, but as I said, it's about what Hayden Young does now, because this speed, trying to remember how the points
it's
40 for a win.
Yeah, 40, 34, 30, 27, 24, 21.
So this will basically put George Reyes on 147 points, and that will put him out of mathematical possibility of going for the title next week.
Oh. He'll need to go forward. He'll need to get White, and he'll need to get Douglas.
He will, but it will still, at that point, when you consider Hayden, I mean, yes, it's going to, I mean, at the moment, Harry Hartley Price, that is 6th position, so that would be 24, 21 points. Well, the thing is that Harry Hartley Price, with 6th place finish, that would be 21 points, puts him on 175. So it would mean that someone like Harry Hartley Price would have to have an absolute shocker. But if you have Sam Berry come through and win the final race of the season, and George Reyes stays in 4th at the moment, that will not be enough for George Reyes to be in contention. He needs to be 3rd or higher to still be in with a mathematical opportunity but at this moment in time, with just under 14 minutes to go, it's going to be difficult. But you can see now that Douglas and White are lying astern. And then when Reyes, who was, 3.5 seconds behind, he's now halved that gap. It's 1.8 and closing. And here goes Marcosius with the dive bomb into the pit lane. So oh! You remember what was it? The NLS race where the BMW M4 got its bonnet on the windscreen, practically fire barriers.
Yeah.
Going into the pit lane.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me.
Yeah, he just went nosedive straight into pit wall there as well. I'm watching for Ossier, but look. Down at 1.6, and they're fighting.
Guys, don't start battling. Work together. Indirectly work together and get away from whoever behind you.
They're not going to.
Battling like this. Yeah, look, here we go. White to the outside. Through at turn 3. He's going to try and get the crisscross here. Now, there could be a little bit of a silver lining behind a cloud, because they've got Raymond Van Zutphen not too far in front of them, which could also... Now, the thing is, it depends on how this battle works out, but they, as Marcosius goes off the circuit to keep out of the way, this is now a pivotal moment in this race. 12 minutes and 20 to go. Young has now got a 4-second lead. And it is being further extended because Douglas and White have gone into battle, and they are, in a way, indirectly oblivious to the fact that George Reyes is closing in on them. Now, Wayne Douglas is on the flashes. Raymond Van Zutphen gets out of the way of the 166 DC Motorsport Mercedes. Andy White goes through. And now George Reyes makes a jump, goes to free a crowd here in the battle for P2, and he's up the inside of White! He's up the inside of White! It had one move and calculated, and Andy White, you should have fought harder, a little bit harder than that. You made a little bit of a boo-boo, I'm afraid.
Now the question is what's White going to be able to do down into turn 1? Is he going to be able to get the run? He's got 3 temps on him at the moment. Or is this going to be, Wayne Douglas is just going to be wide open here? And can he hold it into 1? He can. Douglas, you've got to defend now. This is it. We need to see some spirit, some fight, some grit. You need to hold him up to see if White can have another go at him, but I just don't know if White's got the pace. And that basically stems from about nearly 2 seconds from Reyes' last lap time on a 41.9 to a 43.9 of Andy White, and a 41.9 and a 43.2 of Wayne Douglas. So either way, these guys have got to try and do something. Hold the inside. Don't just give it on. Jesus, whizzles.
Well, no, hang on. Look. Wayne Douglas tried to cross back there. Parfitt now got a slowdown penalty. But that's not going to hurt him too much. But Wayne Douglas is trying to use that front. And look, he went over.
Oh.
He's in the barriers of the Mercedes. Loses his front bumper. Disaster for the DC Motorsport 166. And he's straight into return to garage into pit road. Oh, that is one less car that George Reyes needs to defend against. And look for Cedric Johansson round the outside of Chris Haynes. As Luigi gets through for second, they're going side by side into 3. And the McLaren keeps second ahead of the Mustang. But look at Johansson. He's keeping it pinned. Great battle here for second. Johansson does not want to be in third place for a successive time. But Chris Haynes is getting his elbows out of the McLaren. To the inside goes Johansson. It's the left-hander coming up. Haynes will have the inside line. The Mustang bows its nose as he's hard on the brakes. Tries to get the crisscross out of the corner. And we ride on board with Cedric Johansson. Great battle here for P2 in Am.
Yeah, these guys continue to fight. Cedric Johansson's just got to slow down. So unfortunately, that's going to drop him down a little bit. Away from Chris Haynes. Haynes is going to be able to get the run. Johansson might be able to carry on his run of third places here in this championship, which he's had for the last three races actually. So he might be able to carry it on a little bit more. Further back, Sean Clark, James Moore, Vardigans and Newton are all battling out, and they're all trying to close up on poor old Mark Wesley, who's got a freight train of Gareth Newton, Vardigans and Moore coming at him quickly. and he's coming at him straight away here, Alex, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful. But these 4 cars having a nice little ding-dong a little bit further back, and Sean Clark's at the back keeping an eye on it all.
Yeah, this is really, I mean, that dramatic moment for Wayne Douglas, the 166 DC Motorsport Mercedes-Benz, that has really put his race, I think, it down the toilet, so to speak. One mistake, and it was over those crossing curves. I did say about those crossing curves, George Reyes thing. It didn't unsettle the Ferrari, but my goodness, did it unsettle the McLaren as Sean Clark gets very close to the back of James Moore, the defending champion, as they go through into turns 1, 2, now into 3 at Renault. And fourth point, looking at the lap times, George Reyes, 141.7, Hayden Young, 142.6. Now, bearing in mind, we've probably got about another 5 laps of racing. We're on lap number 31. George Reyes, I think you might be right, could be very, very close. As a move to the inside of Vardigans goes James Moore. Here goes Sean Clark, the number 68, Aston Martin, Clark St. James, trying to get through, but no dice there, I'm afraid, for the man who we really have to say thank you for all the hard work he does behind the scenes. He still gets in every Monday night to go in for racing.
Yeah, that's it. They haven't got long, and poor old Hayden Young's going to have to go full bore at it. He's going to have to make sure that he can hold this one and keep on track here. It's going to be very difficult for him in general. We know that these guys coming at him, and he's coming at him very, very quickly here. So Hayden Young's just going to have to be careful, keep it going. He's got 2.9 seconds, as Lottie said in YouTube chat. Concentrate on what's in front of him. Don't worry about what's behind him. And he might be all right, but Reyes is coming at him at a rate of knots, and these guys further down providing the action of Clark, Vardigans, Moore and Newton, with Sindri Johansson and battling away with Chris Haynes for that second place in AMS as well. So a great little battle from the AMS at the moment. But Reyes, what is the time he's got going on here, and how much is he gaining over Hayden Young?
Hayden's had an off track.
He's pulled out 8 tenths on him on that lap as well, on the last lap. What's he got him out of this lap?
Okay, right, let's have a look. Hayden Young goes across the line now. 142.493, 147.743. So another consistent lap. That's 7.5 tenths a second. And with 6 minutes and 20 to go. 4 laps. 4 laps we've got left of this race. And George Reyes has got the Jaws music playing, I'm sure, in that Ferrari 296. GT3. James Vardigans, in the meantime, gets through on Gareth Newton for position.
I don't know if he's through. Sorry, Alex. I think they're. Okay, so he is through now, but I wasn't sure if he was through or running side by side at one point there, because it wasn't seem to be going the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Now Sean Clark's trying to see if we can have a little level of McLaren. Going into La Casa, and he dives to the inside. This could be very, very close. Sean Clark to the inside, but they've got a right-hander coming up now. It's Banks Sabadell here at turn number 12. Clark still trying to go around towards the outside. He might get the run, might get the overspeed a little bit here. A little bit of a twitch from the back end of Newton. Through into turn number 13. Sean Clark, credit to you, mate, for trying to keep the stones going. And now, with 5 minutes to go, our leaders are about to come up very, very closely. Oh, bit of an exit stage left there from Paul West in the background, I believe. But now it is 1.9 seconds. All that was 2 seconds with 4 minutes and 50 left on the timer. And there goes Clark. Come on, Sean. Right, okay, lap 33 underway. And it was only 6 tenths between the top two that Reyes was able to gather in. Now they've got this back market traffic. Yeah, they're about to close in. See them going through into turns 1 and 2 now. Gap is 1.7 seconds.
That's Joe Loudon.
So bearing in mind, Hayden, out of the all of the pros, had the shortest pit stop time, 17.38 seconds, and has managed to keep. He's basically done what Craig Corrish did when Reyes dropped it at turn 4, lap 1, led all the way into the pit stop. Then Hayden Young's fantastic way of keeping it on the black stuff, in the slipstream, on the coattails of everybody else, which included Corish, which included White, has really put himself in a very, very strong position. He's avoiding the sausage girls, whereas Reyes is going flat chat straight over them. Mark Wesley now gets the slowdown penalty, which is completely served.
He needs Joe Loudon. He needs Joe Loudon. Sorry, I'm just sitting here doing some little scale drawings in my head here. He needs Joe Loudon out the way, and he needs Loudon in the way, going through the next couple of corners. Because if he doesn't...
sorry. Johansson's about to go through. He's in the pit lane.
He needs him out the way. Sorry, Alex, he needs him out the way, but he now needs him in the way. He now needs him in the way, and he needs him in the way because he doesn't want Reyes to make it easy for him. But the only problem is Reyes is now going to get a little bit of draft out of Loudon, which is going to give him an extra little bit of boost. There you go. Reyes ain't stupid. He knows what he's doing, and he knows that he needs it. Loudon just needs to move out of the way of the draft of Young, and now Loudon's going to let him go down into 1. It's now 1.1. Lottie's at home as if she's watching a horror movie with a cushion over a boat race at the moment because she can't even watch the blinking screen going on. We've got less than a second to go and we've only got 1 and 1 more lap. So Hayden Young, if there's back markers around, mate, you need to get there and you need to get there quick. And I don't often say this because back markers do my bonds in with the whole blue flag rule, but Hayden Young needs back markers and he needs to get to them and he needs them in the way sharpish, because otherwise if he doesn't, especially look in front of him on the track map, that's the little red dot is Hayden Young. You can see 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th all in front of him, and he really needs to get at least 14 in the way because he needs that gap between them. So the 14 is Sindri Johansson, who didn't change his livery and has now lost to 3rd place in the AMS. I'm not saying I told you so, but hey, there we go. I told you so. But Hayden Young at the moment now needs to get Sindri Johansson between him and Reyes, and he needs him there really fast because otherwise this ain't gonna, I don't know how much longer this is gonna last. No offense, Lottie, and I know you're Hayden's other half, but I'm worried here. He's got older tyres. Reyes has got fresher rubber. I don't know how many he changed or what tyres he changed, but at the moment, yeah, he's coming at Hayden very, very quickly.
Last lap. There's someone. Last lap underway here at Barcelona. Hayden Young trying to break the nose. Reyes down the top.
He's trying to sit in.
Here we go, right to the outside of Sindri Johansson goes both Young and Reyes into turn 1. Just over 8 minutes remaining on the timer. Craig Corish closing it on Andy White for what will be P3 as Reyes is already putting the brightness on Hayden Young. Hayden Young has got to get his elbows out right now as they're going to go into Repsol very shortly, and there's not even a car length between them. The gap is less than 3/10. Now it's about the straight line speed of both cars. Pressure tyres. Reyes is trying to dart here, there and everywhere to try and see if he can get a move done. Now going into this next corner here at Perth. Reyes being ultra aggressive, he gets down to the inside. Hayden Young keeps it pinned to the outside of him, and they make a little bit of a rub, and Hayden Young gets his elbows out. Great defending there by Hayden Young over the top of the crest of the circuit. And Hayden Young still marginally, fractionally ahead of Reyes. The gap less than 1/10 of a second. Down into La Casa for the final time. Reyes to the outside of Young. Young for the defensive, Reyes to the outside. Will he get the crossover? No, he won't. He went a bit too deep. Hayden Young has got this and 2 more corners. Can he stretch the legs on the Ford Monster? The 4 litre twin turbo. Oh, he loses the back end. That's it. Game over. Reyes on the last lap of the race by mistake is going to pick up his 4th win of the season. Hayden Young held on to the dying moments of the race, but George Reyes, this morning going off at turn 4, lap 1, wins round 7.
Oh no, he's going to be smacking the steering wheel. Oh Lottie, you're going to have to go cuddle your man. He is going to be absolutely smacking that wheel, Hayden Young. He's on the left-hand side. He's there going, no, 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 no. He knows he had that, and he didn't get it. And it was all because of this. Watch the back end of this car. Starts getting a twitch. He's already twitching. He's already light on the rear end. Oh, the Ferrari almost went as well. Oh, both of them. Both of them already nearly went there.
I cannot believe this. Just have a look at this again. Just an overstep on the throttle pedal, a little bit too early. Hayden Young goes around, and George Reyes picks up his 4th win of the season. But there has been a development because Quentin Klumpert, the Flying Dutchman of the number 8 Mustang, picks up the first Mustang victory of the season. And what's more, he finished in 6th place. We've still got drivers battling away, but I cannot believe what we have just witnessed. Hayden Young got his elbows out, said to George Reyes, right, sunshine, you've got to get past me.
Oh, they're going to run to the line.
2 corners remaining.
Oh.
And look at this, Cardigans versus 4, 2 teammates. That was very, very close indeed. But how's about that? George Reyes, 4 from 4. Hayden Young with the slightest mistake. I knew this was going to be one of those races that was going to decide how the final round would play out. And George Reyes,
ignore
the man
that
that
time.
came in.
You've got to ignore the gap between Young and Reyes. That does not even do that justification for the final lap. You can't add that.
I don't know. I'm not even going on about that. I'm saying that Hayden Young was the first person to say to George Reyes, you are not getting through. And I have to give Hayden credit because he did a stellar job. His undercut strategy, 100% on point. And it's just when you get to that final lap, he knew that Reyes was closing. He had to go very, very much on the offensive. And unfortunately, with 2 corners to go, it did not work out. George Reyes, Hayden Young, and Andy White round out your top 3 overall. Craig Corish, Harry Hartley-Price round out the top 5. Quentin Klumpert, the Flying Dutchman, picks up his win in the AM class for the first time this season in 6th overall. Ahead of Baz Cutting, Chris Haynes, and Mark Wesley. 2 McLarens round out the top 3 in the AM class, with James Moore rounding out the top 10 overall, 4th in AM. James Vardigans, good to see the 2 Upshift Esport boys rounding out the top 5 in the AM classification. Sean Clark, Gareth Newton, Sindri Johansson. Unfortunately, Sindri, you didn't change your livery.
Told you.
James told you so.
Told you.
And he ended up 14th at the end of it. Joel Loudon, Raymond Van Zutphen, Simon Darch, Harry Seven has had a second half of the season. It's been difficult for him in the 123 turbocharged sports entry. Paul West, Mark Ozier, Chris Nichols, and Alex Panty round out the finishers. Panty 3 laps down. Wayne Douglas retiring with 7 to go. We've got a message from our good friend Connor Pink, who's been so busy. Shout out to that man. He's been an absolute trooper here tonight. He said that was honestly incredible. I actually shouted at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and we were shouting in our microphones at the time, but this is, I think, the moment where it all went horribly wrong for our resident Viking.
Yeah, this is a little bit further back here, unfortunately, for Sindri Johansson. He passes Gareth Newton, and it all goes a little bit Pete Tong. But let's bring Mr. Quentin Klumpert. I want to start off with the AMs first and finish with the pros. But Quentin there taking the win in the AMs.
Well, Quentin Klumpert, finally we get you in the booth, and then he decides to duck down for waiting interview again. Is he a bit shy?
I don't know.
Or was he?
Come back.
Mr.
Yeah,
Klumpert,
sorry.
good evening. The Flying
Thank
Dutchman
you.
finally
Yeah.
takes the win in the AMs. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Finally. It's a little
I
bit
have to-
nerve-wracking.
I was going to say that was, I think both you and Sindri just showed how strong the Mustang is round here at Barcelona. You were both pretty rapid and you were both in the top 10.
Yeah, well, the funny thing was this week I was practicing Barcelona. As I said to my friend, it's not my track, I can't find the flow. And in practice I chose a new setup and it was on rails. I went from 142.3 to 140.7. So I don't know how, but yeah.
But still, nevertheless, a win at this towards the end of the season. This has really helped you out because looking at the standings, you were 7th. That's going to put you now on 149 points going into the final round in Indianapolis next week. You must be absolutely over the moon. I mean, that is. I'm looking at your best result. Actually, funny enough, was second last time out at Mexico, and now you've gone one better. You've not had a third place. You've had a fourth. You've had a fifth. You've had a second. Now you've got a win. Do you think you might be able to do it again next week in Indianapolis?
I hope. For me, in my rookie season, it was a dream to become top 5 in the standing. So everything is great, but maybe there's more to cut. You never know.
Exactly, but great job tonight, Quinton, and hopefully next week we see you do the double at Indianapolis. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Well, myself for the hard practice. Yeah.
But shout out for me,
no ego there at all. No ego there at all, folks.
No.
That's what I would have done. That's like my ego. Anybody shout, yeah, me, I won it. All right. That's what I would have done.
Well done, Quinton, and we'll see you next week for the season finale for season 8 at Indianapolis. Great job tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, big thank you to Quinton. I love that. No, complete humility. No, like he was completely deadpan when he said that as well.
Yeah, I would have shouted him out as well. Shout out yourself. Why not?
Now, it's the man that we formerly knew as the pilot of Rexy. However, the anime McLaren of Chris Haynes. Chris, where on earth have you come from? Second place tonight. Well done, buddy.
Thank you very much. Really enjoyed that race. Really good fun.
Now, obviously, we've seen you for a multitude of seasons being in Rexy, the good old Porsche with the good old toothy grin at the front. You've really gotten into your stride now with the McLaren. It was a bit of a difficult start to the season, wasn't it, with a zero Okayama? But you've now got into that air of consistency. What was the key for you getting second here at Barcelona?
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of practice, really. Took a while after changing to sort of get it dialed in. But a bit of advice from the guys as well. And yeah, it's good. There's a bit of chaos at the start after the sort of turn 5 or 6, I think, which just managed to avoid, and then just put some consistent times in, and a bit of a battle with Sindra, is it Johansson, later in the race. I'm not quite sure what happened to him in the end. I think he had a bit of an issue.
Yeah, he ended up down pit lane, I'm afraid. So his run of 3 successive podiums or third places did not become 4.
Yeah.
But I've got two questions for you anyway. Firstly, how are you feeling ahead of Indianapolis next week? Because that's going to be a long old slog around that circuit.
It is, yeah. I've never driven there before, so I'm gonna have to get a bit practice in the meantime.
And
so yeah, looking forward to it.
And final question, I have to say, you've got one of the most colourful liveries we've got this season with the anime paintwork on the McLaren. Where did you snipe that one from?
Yeah, that was just looking for something colourful, stand out a little bit, and hopefully people can see me coming or wave as they go past.
Eloquently put there, Chris. But well done tonight on the second place finish, your best result of season 8. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, just the rest of the guys, cracking race, and thanks for keeping it clean.
Brilliant, thanks, Chris, and good luck in the season finale next week at Indianapolis for season 8. Well done tonight.
Great, thank you.
Okay,
right,
so that is our.
We're going 3, 2, 1.
Okay, Andy White. Good evening.
Good evening, gents.
Well, finally, a little bit of strategy was brought into play tonight. Great battle between you and Wayne until Wayne got it completely wrong coming out of turn 5 and then speared into the barrier. But I think it was a case that everyone thought, as soon as George went off at turn 5, lap 1, I think everyone thought, hang on, this guy is not completely infallible.
Yeah, when he went off lap 1, we thought, look, oh, that's a rare mistake. Let's try and capitalise. And then, yeah, we got stuck in a bit of a train, losing a lot of time. I think defending from Hayden and trying not to attack Craig too much because I didn't want to lose 2 places in one corner. So, and then obviously Hayden got us done in the pits, and then we came out having a bit of a battle with Wayne. Yeah, it was quite a good race, to be fair.
But still, I mean, it's another solid result for you as well. Let's look at it from that perspective. You know, you've had a that's your second third place finish of the season. You know, round 3 at Road Atlanta, and also out of the top 5-6 drivers in the championship, I think you're the only one that has actually scored points in every single round so far. So, Mr. Consistency, I think, is your nickname for the season. But there's still one more round to go, Andy, and it's all to play for at Indianapolis next week.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. 90 minutes there. I mean, towards the end of this race, I had no front tyres left at all. I was really struggling. So 90 minutes, we're going to have to try and kill the tyres on the first stint and then swap them and then look after them for the second one.
Well, Andy, still, nevertheless, it was a great fight, and still to get a P3. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening?
Shout out to all the lads at Clocks and James, the missus and the kids again there watching, and shout out to you guys for broadcasting it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andy. We'll see you next week for the season finale at Indianapolis.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
And we have to bring in someone who was so close to his second race win of the season, Hayden.
Don't believe it.
Hayden, we were gutted. We were gutted, baby.
You were gutted. You were gutted.
I could imagine the air was more than blue. You made that mistake.
All race. The car felt great. It didn't make a mistake, and then the last 2, with it going in the last 2 corners, it just
but I have to give credit where credit is due, and myself and James commented on this earlier. That your pit stop was timed to perfection. You were the first one to decide, right, do the grand old undercut. You were, out of everyone in the top 13, you did the shortest pit stop, just under 17.4 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, I would imagine that probably in the first half of that race, you were sitting behind Craig, you were sitting behind Andy, and trying to conserve as much fuel as possible, because if you've got a bit of a lead right foot in that McLaren, you can siphon the fuel a bit too quickly, can't you?
You can. It's pretty good on fuel, though. It's not too bad. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just my driving style. I just save a lot of fuel anyway. But when I had that little battle with Andy, I sent it up the inside. A bit harsh, but we didn't touch it. I spoke to him. It was all good. And after that, I just thought, right, I'm just going to save as much. I can't remember how much I saved, but a lot. And I thought, right, I'll just try the undercut, and it worked.
Well, I mean, you came out with nearly 4 seconds ahead of Craig.
Yeah.
So
it worked.
It definitely worked. I mean, mate, to be honest with you, this still puts you in contention. For next week. I mean, obviously, it's do or die next week, isn't it? It's do or die next week.
Yeah. Where is it next week? I can't remember.
Indianapolis.
No, it's Indianapolis. No, you're joking. Oh God, yeah. Shit.
Mate, I sorry to.
I was not far. The GT Neo nearly come off and went through the window itself. So I've got it.
Mate, I mean, to be honest with you, we were waiting for someone to fight with George. You were the first one.
I thought he's not getting past. You're not.
I was like, thou shalt. It's like Dumbledore from Harry Potter. Thou shalt not pass. Thing. And I just thought someone finally has got the steed. He puts on his big boy pants and gets the elbows out. I mean,
it was just a simple mistake. That was all it was. Just too much power, too much quick, and it was just couldn't believe it. But I thought, you're not getting past. But he's a quick lad.
Well,
he did. Yeah, he did. He's very quick. Oh, I did so well. Yeah, I did well. But it's just gutting towards the end there. But yeah, I enjoyed that though. Really good.
Well, hey, mate, you did a stellar job tonight, Hayden.
Cheers, mate.
So
Thank you.
that's all we can really say. Anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, everyone watching, everyone who enjoyed that. You guys, I'm sure you enjoyed that as well. And yeah, have a great evening, and I'll see you next week. Yeah.
Yeah, especially from one side of the commentary box, because I lost it and then James went full bore as well.
You've got to give him it. You've got to give him it. I had to have a go.
Yeah, you did, mate. Well done to you, fella.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Take care.
Right. Big thank you there to Hayden. Before we bring George... right, okay. I'll wait until afterwards. But George Reyes, you are a very, very lucky man tonight. Offer on lap 1, and you win with 2 corners remaining because Hayden drops it. You must be feeling very, very lucky at this moment in time, because that was a very, very good comeback.
Yes, I don't know what to say really. Like on the last lap, I was so nervous that I'm gonna make a mistake, and at the very end, I nearly made a mistake. But he also made a mistake, and I was like, "Oh my god!" yeah. And then I was able to save it.
Hello?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't. Sorry.
It's all right, mate. You cut out on us halfway through that sentence. You were able to save it and what?
Yes, I was able to save it. So when I saw him and he didn't save it, I was like, "Oh my god, I can take it then," and I just took it. So yeah, I was amazed. Yeah.
You didn't think about slowing down and letting him back through then?
No, I didn't think of it. I mean, he lost it by himself. I didn't do
it. Oh, there you go. Oh, dude, great job. Great job. Can you win the championship?
What do you say?
Can you win the championship?
I don't know. I need to make the calculation. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well,
I think Harry is very close.
Harry will probably be leading, but you will still be within a mathematical chance, I think, because if you win 5 out of 5, that's 200 points. Even though you joined us back at the Red Bull Ring, but you know, George, I mean, how many tyres did you put on the car? Was it all 4? Was it rears?
So basically what happened was that I was so focused on trying to overtake because of my first mistake. I never actually checked anything in my pit stop. So when I went inside, I didn't know what I was doing. So when I tried to accelerate because of the fuel, it didn't go. I was like wondering, wait, what happened? Like I thought it was something about my system that went wrong. But then the car went down and was like, oh wait, I was changing tires, so I started accelerating quite late as well. So yeah, that was the mistake.
So did I think we even saw 4?
Yeah, it was all 4.
Right. Okay, so and also there was something else that I don't think maybe a lot of people caught on the stream. You actually clobbered the wall with the right rear of the Ferrari as you got into your pit box as well. I noticed that I saw the right rear clatter with the pit wall door.
No, the other thing I did, I was just trying to position my car. Maybe it touched it, but I don't know.
Well, still, nevertheless, 4 wins out of 4, George. That's a hell of a performance. But well done tonight. Before we let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
My girlfriend. She's been very supportive and cooked me a really nice meal for today's win. So yeah.
Good one, George. You get to sleep on the bed tonight, mate, and not on the sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, George, well done tonight. Congratulations, and we'll see you for the final round, I'm sure, at Indianapolis next week. Well done tonight.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Oh, Alex, this is going to be a spicier than a vindaloo at the curry house. I'm even looking forward to Indy now.
All I'm going to say is apologies, Jared Love. Yes, it was Gandalf. And I responded in chat. Yes, too much adrenaline going through the veins.
I've got to apologise to him as well. He's moaning about he didn't get a membership. I'm sorry, it was completely random, dude. It does it on his own. All right. Yeah. So I do love you and all, but you just might have to spend your own money and buy one. So sorry on that one. But anyway, let's wrap it up, dear sir.
Barcelona was an absolute banger tonight here for round 7. Indianapolis next week, same place, same time. Championship still very much on the cusp of being decided. Who will become our Season 8 champions? Well, you're going to have to wait. Join us in Indianapolis, same place, same time, next week here on the JP Broadcasting Network. Thank you so much for everyone that has been involved in the chat tonight. You've been in the company of Alex Goldschmidt and James Parfitt. This has been a JP Broadcasting Network production. And as always, race hard, race fair. And if in doubt, well, you better go flat out. Tune in for the season finale next week. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Jungle.